little bit more impact on the map, and it will be that Maokai.
And it's a lot more setup around the objectives, a lot more vision control. I think the big pick that's still on the board here is Ashe. Obviously, the Maokai-Ashe combo is just so strong and choke-holding the vision game around the jungle. But I wonder if Top Esports are going to be willing to kind of slink this one away. Would not be something that they've necessarily gone through, but it is something that's just so ridiculously strong right now.
Yeah, I think, you know, even if they've not shown this card yet, one, scrims, so they've definitely had practice on it more than likely than not. And I think you just have to absolutely split up the Ashe Maokai. It's just a little bit too much poke. Like you said, everything you just listed, it's too obnoxious to deal with. And at that point, the only way you can really get through it is kind of just full engage and a prayer, which isn't always going to work out. And Top Esports are going to lean again on this Jayce perhaps as a poke avenue here. And on the red side, the flex is a lot more potent. You can really hold on to it until the last
They're living rent-free in IG's head here, I'm just saying.
They are.
I don't know if that was laughing about the Jayce pick, but it could be hilarious. But now it's the double response that needs to come through for IG as they round out their first phase. Maybe even, yep, all right, YSKM saying it wasn't the problem. I will push harder. I will play more cocky, as he knows the time is nigh to do so.
All right, well, I'm down for it, but the only thing I want to see is a general change-up from IG. I want to see focus actually go up towards the top side then. If you're going to lock in this Fiora early again for a second game in a row, go and give it resources. Otherwise, I feel like the pick itself isn't really that worth going towards if you're not going to try and set it ahead for success in the side lanes, and especially in a meta where Dragon Souls, Dragon team fights, very, very important to play for. If you're getting rolled over to a point where Soul is showing up 25, 26, 27 minutes into a game, it's going to be difficult to really have a lot of impact as that Fiora. Top Esports should probably lock in this Sejuani, no real surprise there. And
so
IG
much forward engage,
picked up the Fiora. Yeah, it's quite obnoxious.
And with the poke layer down underneath with the Jayce, obviously still very flexible. I just think that TS, this is a fine trade for the jungle, right? Tian had his chance to shine, get the MVP with the Elise, but this time around it's going to be facilitating the rest of the team, and we've seen TS be able to do both.
Yeah, and the next thing I'm actually going to be kind of curious to see is what Top Esports are going to do with the Jayce and technically the Ashe, because they're both flexible picks, right? Ashe can go AD or support, and Jayce as well can go mid or top. So what I'd actually ideally like to see is maybe a pick that they can try and use in both lanes, another flex pick, and just kind of pick out the best matchup for themselves and just keep IG guessing, right? I think, or I feel like rather, to me, IG's mid lane champion pool is relatively readable, right? From Dove, he's kind of, I don't want to say set in his ways, but I think he's only played about 3 or 4 champions more than 2 times this split. So it's likely always going to be something like the Azir or the Ryze or the Sylas out of him. So for Top Esports, they should kind of have a rough idea of what to preemptively pick, as looking towards the bans now, it's just a bunch of AD carries and things in the bottom sliders. There you go. There's at least the Azir taken away from Dove, because they kind of expect one of these very stable picks to come out of him.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this final ban here for IG. Obviously, maybe trying to pinch some of that bottom side pool a little bit, but maybe looking at that. I was just about to say, looking at the Darius from last game against QingTian.
And again, I think it makes sense, right?
Look at that smile.
He's so adorable when he does it as well. But it's just like, you don't want to have to deal with, you know, the potential turnaround of a Darius, right? It just feels a little bit too frustrating. And Top Esports are going to go for a bit of a takeaway as well in this Sylas, because now Dove, his next most played champion is Ryze. So we'll see whether or not he goes towards it in this matchup. I feel like it's one that you should always be comfortable in. Ryze versus Sylas, you get to scale. It's more about kind of dealing with the early skirmishing, which could potentially be a bit of a problem, but outside of that, you'll be all right. We'll see what... Oh, yeah, the kassadin's actually up.
Yeah, all right. I was going to say.
Yeah, forgot about that one. It's banned so frequently.
Through.
Yeah, it's banned so frequently, it kind of just slipped my mind. So IG will pick this one up, and I think this was the champion that Dove, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that he actually debuted on IG with the kassadin, so very exciting to see him return to this pick. And it's kind of ideal situation, right? You've got Sejuani Sylas. It can be a bit scary in the early stages, but the laning phase itself isn't actually that daunting. And now IG have to lock in their AD carry or support, whichever way it's going to be here, with potentially a Kalista lock.
Let's go.
All right, I'm down for this. I'm expecting Kalista support here.
JackeyLove gonna get his favorite setup here. The double ADC versus double ADC. as the aggression from the Varus Kalista is going to be really interesting. Again, another matchup where they need to get something off the ground running for them, and they weren't able to on the combo they had last time, the Ashe Raven, which I feel like is that primo one that you go for. Now it will be the Jhin Ashe bottom lane. This has been a deadly factor and something that even with some of those questions about the double ADC bot lane, that utility they provide to set up rookie QingTian and Tian himself, that's key here.
Yeah, and I agree. I think a lot of the utility and engage from Top Esports and how it's used is going to be very crucial. I think IG have... it's kind of weird. I don't want to say that Top Esports are kind of on a timer, but I feel like, you know, in terms of a pressure timer, yes, right? With YSKM on the side lane and also Dove on level 16. I feel like IG, it's going to be very interesting trying to maintain that #1 position in the table for now. Top Esports, 4-5 man in the bottom side, whilst YSKM is on the top side, and actually a flash force from Wink. And, you know, and I think it was you I was with. I'm not sure that W would have rooted Wink. I'm pretty sure it was you. It was either you or Ashe I was with, where the interaction works, where you need the W skilled to actually root the target. The damage has to come down whilst the W is skilled, but Wink still forces the flash out.
Oh, look at this! Valentine's Day, we get a little bit of fun. 400 games in the LPL. Hey. I believe that's what that says for Tian. As congratulations to Tian, as he deserved that MVP for game #1. This game #2 is going to try to make it happen yet again, but again, on a bit of a different style this time around. Did actually switch up his start here a little bit later on. I'll be on this Wolf Clear side for TES, and we'll see Gideon. Maybe a lot of focus bot lane with these double ADCs here, Jamada.
Oh yes, certainly. We'll be piloting the Kalista, and it'll be actually Varus support. So I expect it to be the other way around. It's not. So we'll see.
He's gonna play his Kalista.
Exactly, and I'm pretty sure it was Wink that debuted the Varus support internationally. I don't think anyone else did it before he did. So very, very fun bottom lane. If you hopped in a time machine to like season 6 or 7 and you showed this bot lane matchup, I feel like people would call you a psychopath.
Probably, honestly. I've actually been really enthused with it, yeah. I'm really looking at kind of how this bot lane meta is affecting this series, right? That was something we kind of wanted to keep a side eye on coming into this one, because we have seen some of that variation from these bottom lanes, but it has really been about On and Wink being just so ridiculously aggressive in the 2v2s. And solo lanes usually take priority here, but in this series, IG have said both times now that they want to take aggression into JackeyLove and Mark. On step 4 there, and Tian says that's the go button. Flashes are coming out everywhere. JackeyLove with the 4th shot. Deadly Flourish does not connect. Mark may one more auto attack will find it. Top Esports gank in the bottom lane. Summoner spells burned aplenty on both sides.
Yeah, and if Tian was a little bit healthier, I would expect actually a wraparound that he's still going to go for it anyway, just because of how low both Wink and Ana are. And Gideon is going to try and respond on the top side, but QingTian looks a little bit too safe with the wave stacked up the way it is. I think if you just wait a little bit for YSKM to hit level 3, then it's a bit more playable, and it seems like they agree on this one. Flash it.
Gets the Bramble smash back, or post. The damage is there. We'll see first blood go over to IG, and YSKM is off to the races.
Yeah,
so here comes fourth shot on. Will go down. Mark tank in here, maybe in the end. Tian wants to come capitalize as JackeyLove took 2 of those tower shots. It's actually a huge Wink. There's the shot, and JackeyLove gets the kill. IG gets up the top lane, but TES get everything bot lane.
Now this is how we're gonna measure the importance of both of these side lanes, and I have to hold the pointers now. Gideon's on a bit of a tear. He's going towards rookie here. Dove. Not gonna be able to provide any CC though is the big issue, and with Tian here, you have to back away though. Both these two members are about 300 HP. Gideon's full HP.
Gideon wants to go for Tian, knowing that rookie still has the Kingslayer for some of that healing back. Will just be the fight. Won by IG over the Rift Herald here. Presence is enough. And honestly, good showings from both sides with differing conditions here, at least in the early parts of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And top side, we said, want to see YSKM actually get resources, right? And getting them definitely from the early gang, indeed.
You ask and you shower Steve.
You do ask and you shower Steve. It's Valentine's Day, so that's hopefully how that works for many. As bottom side, it's just a lot of damage coming out, isn't it? 4th shot, flash away from JackeyLove is great as well. Actually, he doesn't end up flashing away. Yeah, I take that back. Just great tanking as Tian comes in. Really nice dive. As There's a return from that earlier gank and play, and this is the thing, those ganks have so much sticking power, right? There's not a lot of sustain in the game at the moment. That's one of my big things with my early ganks. Are so powerful. It feels like it's really, really hard to recover from a gank very quickly. These bottom side matchups in particular are so punishing with all of the extra damage from the double AD carry meta that we are in. Tian and the bottom lane, rather, of top esports capitalizing on that perfectly.
So they say life is like a box of chocolates, Jamada, and maybe Valentine's Day brings that up here. What if this series was to be a chocolate of any sort, what would it be?
That's a great question. This would be now
is it
for the
fruity?
fans.
Is it nutty? Is it just like straight chocolate?
I think it's straight chocolate. I think it's straight chocolate.
Okay.
And I can't remember the brand, and I feel like a bit of an idiot because I'm pretty sure it's actually my partner's favorite chocolate. But you know the chocolate where they come in balls, and then inside the chocolate there's like a softer
like the
sort of melted chocolate.
Or whatever?
Yes.
I know what you got. I see. Okay. Well, you know, when you bite into those, it is just a sheer surprise, and I think we've been having a lot of fun here with this one. So maybe it plays into that. We do see nothing really going the way of Gideon. After that early gank at topside, he did revisit, and it's been about him bouncing between top and mid. Tian, we put a lot of focus on bot lane, though. Rookie steals Gideon's ult because he's got 2 levels on him, and here comes Tian. Gideon getting low. Gideon going down. Tian gets himself a kill, but he might go down too. Dub, a little bit low. He's just skirting the edge, and he's like, Rookie, please. We'll see YSKM go on to QingTian. The knockback brings YSKM back to the fold here, but very, very tight back and forth mid lane that goes TES's way.
Yeah, exactly. Top esports still pick up that kill. Really nicely played there. Rookie just steals away the ultimate and makes the turnaround possible. As again, that's just kind of the early power of Sylas plus that Sejuani. The stacks are very easy to attain. The kill comes through as now Gideon. Yeah, back
they want to get the slows down, but they can't get it. Fiora on, flashing forward on JackeyLove. He gets hit by the deadly players, cleanses though. He wants Mark now. Mark will hit the barrier. The rend, not enough, but Gideon, he wants it. Can't get the Bramble smash distance, and IG desperate bot side.
My goodness, IG really wanted to force that play through. And I wouldn't be surprised if Gideon even decides to wrap around, but he's got a lot of camps to catch up on. He is level 4 still. So he will just leave for now as JackeyLove is forced back a little bit, but should be able to collect most of this wave. And IG, they force out, at the very least, all the sums from JackeyLove. Mark didn't have flash in that exchange, but they also lose the flash and cleanse on Arn too. So it's actually an equal summon exchange in flat numbers. And a couple of those cooldowns, barrier in particular, is going to come up earlier on Mark.
And back down towards the bottom side, we have actually Rift Herald spawning in under 10 seconds here, but objectives have just not been it right now for the teams. They're looking for lane advantages, and I think we saw Tian putting a lot of presence around JackeyLove and Mark. He's been hovering the opposite side, it feels like, from Gideon here, but we actually now get to see that top esports by getting a trade here. They're going to go for the Dragon as Rookie's baiting some pressure on Dub, but it should just be Gideon going for the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Gideon does have, well, actually, I'm not quite sure. You should know me even have.
I mean, they have the Scuttle Crab there, so it's a little hesitant.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward because he doesn't have lane priority in either solo lane right now, so Gideon's actually wrapping around to the top side. Oh no, I didn't see the help on the Dragon.
It ain't world, Jamada, it ain't world, it's okay.
Yeah, you'd imagine a couple of members from that Worlds game looking away as Wink charged that one up as that route did come through, but dodging away. Ripple comes back up. Oh!
Flash over the wall from Dub though. Tian and Rookie, they won.
Oh my god, he's out!
Surviving the madman as Rookie tries to go on and get in, but IG, they make it out with a very, very heavy heart.
My god, I think Dub had to have just pooped himself. That was a lot of damage. I was gonna say something different there for a second. But yeah, force out there from top esports means they will be the ones that pick up the Herald as well. It'll at the very least be answered out by IG on the bottom side, who will get 2 plates between Arn and Wink. As YSKM and Tian temporarily trade sides on the top lane, but Tian is not going to be able to find an opportunity to sneak up there and make a play happen. Bit of a soft split map here, but There you go, vision secured at the press of button there for Mark. So they'll
Even
know.
though they got bot lane turret plates, though, it still feels like top esports now have, with this Rift Herald on the map, have a lot of choices. As Mark and JackeyLove know they should not probably move up here, as they will just keep racking up these plates.
Yeah, but the thing is, they can start to do it now as rookies come to back them up, and Tian is also not too far away.
Oh no, that's the Fate's call, having to be pulled, but now Gideon is in some trouble against Tian. Tian not having his ulti, but does have that CC back. On 3 to get the flash forward, though. Tian going down as Wink moving forward himself. Dub has now showed up, and a double kill has gone over to Wink.
All right, there you go, IG. This is why I want to see a little bit more of a counterpunch there. They actually have the couple of engage tools to move forward and work with, and so much burst damage comes out from Wink. He picks up a double kill for himself. Who needs to give kills to the Kalista when you can just go to the valley and be even more powerful, apparently? So Wink does get himself the upper glaive. He's really, really strong. We'll see how they can actually try and control vision now and again. Remember, you know, you've got the Maokai. It's maybe not an Ashe, but you still have a lot of poke and sort of manly range engages. Just Gideon kind of initially getting caught out, but the follow-up isn't quite there from top esports, and you immediately see the flash forward, the flash damage, the Ren. Yeah, the arrow is still so much damage. Tian can't do anything. He's pretty much ripped the entire duration of his death. And IG finds a bit of reprisal there after what was a couple of good plays from top esports.
There's some different stuff happening on the Rift right now. We're looking at a mid lane 3v3, but I think the duality of the inventories here are definitely in IG's favor. They have completed 3 items. Wink has his, Gideon not having his, but YSKM, and also getting on his shield bow. But TS using this Rift out in mid lane, this is what we wanted to see from them. Get a little bit of gold back, continue to kind of pressure IG.
Absolutely. And they can pick up that second herald. That tower will just about fall down. A lot of pressure has been given towards Dub so far in the earlier stages. And like you said, iron advantage for YSKM.
There's just 3 serrated Dirks on the other side. it's like okay, one side completed items, the other side, let's just buy Dirks. That's all we got right now.
If Orcs was still here, rest in peace, he's not dead, he's just not in the LPL anymore. 3 Dirks
every time. At this point, I think you killed him.
No, oh, hello, YSKM.
QingTian grand challenge on him. Does have the support. The YSKM finds a hungry hippo / Poro coming from the jungle, and QingTian will get the kill.
Yeah, and you can see how much damage was still able to be returned, and it's because, again, if Orcs was here, he would be saying that Dirk is actually a cool item. It's just the most broken component in the game, and it is, to be fair.
Did you kill Ox, Jamada?
Did I? No.
Because that's twice you just talked about him. Yeah,
he's so handsome. It's, you know, it's Valentine's Day. He's on the brain. All right. You know,
okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Not me. I see how it is. It's cool. I get rain checks sometimes.
No.
It's okay though. Roa is completed for rookie. We'll see the attempt here, connecting on cleansed out, but then the burst comes out immediately after. But the CC loss not going to be able to
about tap ult.
This Wink getting a little bit low. Tian wanting to go for that engage here with Mark on the side. Doesn't find that forward aggression. We do have Dragon coming up very shortly.
Yeah, I think top esports are being a little bit considerate potentially of Gideon's position on the map. They weren't too sure maybe where he was, so they didn't want to quite commit, even though Tian's ultimate did come up during the duration of that play. They didn't want to slam it down with the Dragon coming up so soon. Rather hold on to the ultimate economy. Just ensure that they have these tools available for a potential Dragon fight that could unfold. Now IG
first tower here.
Yeah, could maybe try and sneak away this tower. Top esports, the reason why they were so aggressive down there towards the bottom side is because they're trying to defend that tower. They won't drop for now, as IG actually have control of the river at the moment. First move everywhere. That tower's going to go down without Arn in the vicinity, so I don't think he got any local gold there. I saw 50 pop up, but it certainly wasn't the bigger 550 that you'll see from a tower drop.
Still, in this fight, there still is these item completions you got to worry about. It doesn't matter if you CC them all down. Face Call came out now. Nature's Grasp used by rookies. Try and get them down. Shield Bow gets popped by the Dragon there, but TES, having utilized a lot of their engage potentials, have to move out. Dragon will be separated 1-to-1 now. As IG capitalize on the movement from the entire team, it feels like, but YSKM.
Yeah, and I mean, this is, you know, the difference in IG's composition between having a pick like Maokai, which can actually control objectives, and then also, you know, a lot more engage and burst turn, which they just didn't have VODS in the previous game at all. And I felt like Top Esports were always in the river first, always able to chunk out IG before they could actually take a fight. And even though Top Esports held onto a couple of their engage tools prior to that actual Dragon contest, they weren't able to use them in a meaningful manner. And I see IG just end up being them picking up the Dragon now. QingTian doesn't have flash. I feel like he might just be dead here. We'll see if Mark can maybe get in range, but I feel like it might be a doom situation for Mazel.
QingTian playing so well to that grand challenge, but it doesn't matter because YSKM picks it up. Dove now coming in here with this level 11. Mark getting a little bit low. That's a almost 6-level difference from Mark and Dove. As now it is Rift Herald potentially on the plate of IG as they've moved everyone up here for this fight.
Yeah, and with Dove being level 11, access to the Rift Walk a lot more frequent. Makes taking team fights a lot better for themselves, and Top Esports always have to be weary of that stacking ultimate from Dove and the damage that it can always provide. It seems like Top Esports are just going to give this one up. I think they kind of just recognize at the moment that if they were to take a fight, I feel like they see it as a very, very big losing situation. Champions on the side of IG are just so potent at this stage in the game that they'd rather not and just take a rain check on the Herald. Give that one over to IG.
So I do want to go back to some win conditions here. Oh, he's going for Gideon, but then they see Dove. Now Dove having to spring that trap. Again, missing the Glacial Prison. QingTian getting a little bit lower now. The Dove still stacking up his Rift Walks. Should be fine to move on to this topside tower unless Collapse comes back from TES. We won't see anything further here, at least in the top side of the map. But I still think that it's just such a bounce back from a very, very tough game number one for IG. And yes, they haven't found exactly the success that they want, right, with the draft that they've gotten, but they're scaling up. They're getting the late game. I feel like the team fight, just outright damage potential for On and Wink is a lot higher than their respective counterparts in JackeyLove, Mark. And we said for JackeyLove and Mark playing the Jhin and Ashe, it's a lot about the setup for the rest of the team going into team fights. And that's going to be the kind of dueling fates, back to the Star Wars reference that we have to kind of keep an eye on. Ooh. Wink, if he hits that Change Corruption, it's a different story.
It's a very different story. Who's the Sith? Who's the Jedi?
It's a good question. Well, if we're just going off colors, which, you know, is pretty monumental in the Star Wars universe, IG are the Jedi and TS are the Sith.
Okay.
Just because they're on blue and red side, respectively, and stuff. Okay. There's not much more investment from that. I mean, results-based analysis here. That's what we do, Jamada.
Yeah. Well, all right, hold on. Well, I feel like Sith. All right, here you go. Here's the chain, right? Sith.
All right.
Usually, at least from my innings in Star Wars universe, usually they're on the older side, right?
Okay.
JackeyLove rookie, they're the older generation of IG, so I feel like that's actually a stronger connection. That's nice to say that the Sith.
The connection to the Force, you say?
Ah, yeah.
Oh my God, we're just. You doing anything on 14th? Man? We're casting together. I can't believe it. Rookie and Tian trying to find a little bit of something on the job, but he's going to be so slippery in the side lane here. I think that's where a little bit of the stagnation is really leading to Dove's success. And something that we haven't necessarily always seen, because we have seen mid lane not be as successful. Dove has had these strong performances, and especially given these kinds of stable picks, it looks really good. And I'm still looking at TES to answer some of this early part of the game.
Definitely, but I'm kind of wondering when we'll get that answer, because for IG, I feel like they're very quickly approaching their power point, and at that point, as Top Esports, how often do you really want to contest that, right? Once that second item comes in for Arn, do you feel like the power spike of a second item for JackeyLove is actually enough to match? And do you feel like you can actually deal with the post-level 11 kassadin? You have the CC and the burst damage to take him down. Right now, it feels like we're seeing IG be a lot more disciplined than they were in game number 2, or game number 1 rather. And on the side of Top Esports, they're really kind of biding their time, being very tempered. The early plays didn't exactly go their way. And it feels like they're not really looking as proactively as they were in game number 1 either for some of these plays and picks.
Well, we know JackeyLove says influence out of laning phase for double ADC comps is not there, but he's trying to make a difference here on the Jhin, but it's really been On and Wink who have been turning it up in this mid-game. They are the points of pressure right now that IG are playing on. The Glacier Prison comes through to try and deny it, but push back is Tian. He flashes over the wall and gets out of there. Very, very close, but a lot of tools utilized, and only really the Nature's Grasp and the Chains of Corruption from Wink and Gideon.
Yeah, there's 3 flashes from Top Esports blown from just a single R press, or 2 from the side of IG, which should mean that this dragon gets picked up. That's really unfortunate. But QingTian will steal that one away, so fortunate for him. The second dragon, the game for IG, will be picked up. Hex Soul, we didn't really talk about it, but very powerful, of course. Still the strongest soul in the game, in my eyes.
So how are we looking for Top Esports fans here when we're going into the later parts of the game? I do feel like the bar of execution definitely a lot higher for them, but you're still looking at Rookie who's playing his classic Sylas. You have QingTian on this Jayce, who the poke will be a huge factor for them, and a lot of forward momentum as well if they can find the right engages.
Yeah, you know, funnily, I actually think the ease of execution lies in Top Esports' hands. It's just more about actually being able to find the picks. I think they've got the engage tools to do it, but again, we haven't really seen them look as proactively as they were off the back of the poke that they were landing in game number 1. And it's been IG and specifically Gideon just getting up in the faces of Top Esports time and time again. I think in terms of the prospects for Esports, they're still okay for now, but they need to not eat too much poke. Try and chain together some picks like this, perhaps. They can actually get on top of Wink, but they're not going to pounce on this potential opportunity. We'll just look to back away.
It's a good reservation.
Yeah.
Love to see, just trying to get some poke down on the Wink there, not getting connected because Gideon was waiting right around the corner. Oh, the deadly first connection. That is the go button here now again on flashing. Chains of Corruption going in, but he is dead already. On, Chase down 2. He uses the cleanse, but he has these Ren stacks stacking up. Gideon coming to save the day as well. On just needs to get out of there, trying to get away from the shock blast. Oh, On stepping up means he does dodge that one, but Gideon has been left between 4 members of Top Esports, and QingTian will pick up his second kill. They're going on to Baron.
Yeah, Baron off the back of this. Gideon's dead. There's not much that IG can do about this, I feel like. Gonna have to really hope for a miracle. I'm seeing Pings already go onto that tier 2 on the bottom side. I think IG are just giving this one up.
They're going mid lane as well.
Yeah, just picking up the wave, trying to shove in, ensure that they can waste as much time of Top Esports as they can once the
Rookie wants it.
Replay comes in.
Rookie wants it. Rookie wants it. Doesn't even need the arrow. He'll take you on himself. As the deadly burst misses, Rookie still going on to Dove. Takes the burst cone over as well. YSKM has arrived to kind of support Dove here. The Rift Walk's going to not be available just yet. That mana not stacking up enough. YSKM needs a little bit of support here. Here comes Wink as well. He has the Chains of Corruption, and he'll be connecting onto Tian. Dove still stacking up on the side, but he's in trouble, like you said. He's trying to find his way out. Looks like IG will leave him to his own devices. Try to find his way out of this predicament.
Cue the Benny Hill music.
Do it, do it, do it, do it. Oh, so close.
Dude, did the minions interrupt him? I think the minions interrupted him, didn't they? That's so sad. Oh, man. That was really, really close. Unfortunate there for IG's mid laner. Could have made that. That's tough. But go back to the replay here, and this is what I'm talking about from Top Esports. They've got the tools and they've got the engage, especially at range, to actually make things work. But they haven't been using them until now. Really nice cancel on the TP there from Dove.
That's actually so big.
Chase. It was huge because you feel like if Rookie's here from the get-go, On maybe even just dies as well super quick, and that Baron goes over even faster. As I want to say it had to be the minions aggroing him, right? Because I don't think any more attacks actually went. Is. Yeah, it's that's
2 auto attacks from the ranged minions. Oh, YSKM, how did you find yourself here, my friend? He is wishing that he had more friends on this side of the map. He does go down, and QingTian picks up yet another kill.
Yeah, it's been a side lane condition. YSKM's been putting down a lot of pressure, but not really enough to change the game so far on the course of it. And simply one engage has turned into so much for Top Esports. They got the Baron. Whilst they haven't necessarily picked up too much in the means of towers off the back of it just yet, as I say that, they can certainly try and find this tier 1 in the mid lane just because of how low it is. It's changed the momentum of the game. The game feels a lot more playable.
Dove gets his OTP canceled. Say, how do you like that, Rookie? Rookie says to Dove, rather. QingTian will find the side lane tower. And do see if they can take it down. The Chain Corruption back on the other side of it as well. And Tian will die to the smite of Gideon. Got to push in mid lane, but this is the kind of what experience has wrought is the decisiveness for Top Esports as they pounce onto On.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. Top Esports feels like they've woken up a little bit now in this game after the 15-20 minutes almost of pretty difficult gameplay there to experience through IG's aggression. And now that they got the Baron and picked up a good couple of towers, they found the pick. They can also pick up this dragon just to keep IG away from Soul Point. It's a really good sequence of play here. And all of a sudden, those prospects that we were speaking about earlier for IG, for Top Esports, feel a lot more positive than they were about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I did see QingTian actually just completed his 3rd item as well. So this Jayce is going to be a bit spooky as we do get him getting caught in the side lane though. And a nice little pickup for Gideon.
I didn't realize that, but Wink actually missed his tail tower.
Yeah.
This is kind of cute. But yeah, On had a big arrow hit his forehead and lock him up in place, as well as all of the other bits of CC that landed from Top Esports to ensure that they could secure that tier 2 in the mid lane. It's really well aimed from Top Esports, and hopefully this level of proactivity can stick around. And we'll see whether or not IG can actually answer it. Level 16 is here for Dove. So, I'm sure we had a whole bunch of the, 15 out of 16, Monka S, 16 out of 16, Monka S, and the timers in chat. It's here. Let's see what IG and Dove can actually get done with it. Dove has been pretty silent for a lot of this game. He's actually not had a single kill participation thus far.
I think obviously we had said already a lot that this is a big test for IG, but it's no bigger show of what the test is, where in both games, in game number 1 they kind of got choked out. In this game they had some advantages, but it's been the decisiveness and kind of that tempered resilience of Top Esports that's just been paying dividends for them.
That's an engage that flies wide, and teleport's also here from Rookie. He'll steal away that Maokai arm. You can just see a lot of poke just trying to be laid in response, but the damage simply isn't there right now for IG. Certainly if that Shock Blast landed, I really want to see a damage check actually. QingTian being at 3 items. Too. Yeah, he does. He's getting the pressure in. He's going to chunk out this tower. QingTian's taking a reset instead of a teleport, so IG really want to try and actually buy time for Fiora on the side lane. I think he still wins.
He's level 16. They might want to get this engage here. Wink buying time against Rookie. Rookie getting those Ren stacks in him. Rookie, he's going to go down. Dove picks up the kill. And with Dove heading that level 16, he is now activated, and Wink wants to help him pick up another kill. That's a double for the IG mid laner.
Long have we awaited, finally activated. Level 16 for Dove comes in, and immediately IG just pounce. YSKM had his teleport interrupted on the bottom side, but it doesn't really matter too much. IG still stave off the pressure, and that's a huge sigh of relief for IG, because Top Esports really felt like they had a lot of momentum for the last couple of minutes. Now with that sort of brief moment of respite, they can potentially look to try and wrest control back on the map. As it's a lot of pressure being brought from YSKM being in the bottom side. You can see on the front side of the fight, Rookie just gets caught out by Gideon, and that's how the fight actually kicks off. The teleport gets interrupted on the bottom side as the disengage tries to come through from Top Esports, but simply not there. Rookie was too far out of position initially.
You're doing Baron. JackeyLove just dies to Dove. He's got the Riplock still available too. He's going to be able to make it out of this one.
He's gone.
Rookie coming to try to make something happen. Baron is already in IG's favor. YSKM stepping up. Gets half his health bar taken out. Might need to back off of that one. As Baron and the play, the momentum swinging here as the door is wide open for IG. They have evened up the gold lead.
All right, this is what we wanted to see though out of IG, right? We wanted to see some life, and finally we do get it. 2 plays back to back. They get the Baron. I think they've recognized they're at their power point now. Level 16. You should know me as well. He's got the hull breaker, so he is committed to the side lane, as it's just on vision. So much vision for IG in the lane. Nothing JackeyLove can do about this.
This is what happens when you play Jhin. When you're against these solo laners. Oh, Dove getting caught by Rookie here though. Side lane pressure. Rookie not going to hit that duck though. We have On coming around. Oh my god, I see. They found themselves on the wrong side of the rift here. Dove. Oh, shot from the curtain call. Another one might hit On. Not going to do it. Gideon blocks it. Wink gets engaged on by Rookie. Face call out. Gideon left out though. Tian needs to get into range, needs to get that CC off, can't do it. The hail of arrows, beautifully done by IG. Testing this moment though, because YSKM is pushing this topside inhib, and Tian, Rookie, they're trying to go in on the Gideon some more. Rookie picks himself up another kill. The Nature's Grasp from Rookie connected onto Wink, but that is an inhib tower down in top and bot for IG.
All right, Top Esports find the pick. Dove caught out too many members to deal with. He does buy a lot of time, but eventually it results in Dove and Gideon both dropping. Dragon spawns up in 20 seconds time. You have to imagine Top Esports may be able to pick this one up though if Dove teleports back out onto the map. Maybe some pressure can be regained from IG. Gideon's death time is a little bit longer than that. Hex gates as well can close the gap as well, don't forget, back onto the map. So maybe the response can come in, but I feel like the death time is just a little bit too long. We'll see what the call is. There's actually teleports going to the top side from Dove. Yeah, so they want nothing to do with this. They're going to try and get Dove to the inhibitor, and Yushinomi is also on the bottom side, maybe waiting for someone to answer on the bottom wave, but everyone from Top Esports bar JackeyLove is just going to go for the reset.
Dude, I'm giddy like a little kid here. We're getting IG taking a macro-focused late game into Top Esports. Mark getting caught out by Dove. This is how Dove got baited into his death. But it's so impressive that IG are willing to take this into the legends that are on Top Esports.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just playing the side lanes, man. Just have a little bit of game.
Look, they're the team with the mojo this split. I feel like, at the very least, previous splits, you would argue it's Top Esports with that mojo. Speak with Lyrical Munch. They're always telling me it's Top Esports. They're the ones with the mojo. This year, IG coming in with that style. And again, you know, just to reiterate, at least for me, there are some question marks around IG generally on their ceiling. Obviously having such an explosive entry to the LPL is always a good thing, but teams they've taken down, they haven't been the big heavy hitters just yet. Top Esports would be, in my mind, the big scout, really, to take down alongside JDG, though that's also another story in its own right. You get to that series when you get to it. But for now, having such a positive showing into Top Esports is exactly what you needed to have. And they are trying to force a game 3 out of this.
And again, the little cherry on top of having this such contested game against would be history makers for IG and Rookie and JackeyLove. The fact that Dove and On here are the new faces of IG, even though it's been a while since those two legends have been with the org. It's definitely that extra cherry on top for them in this matchup, and we'll see if they can push it to a game 3. Still a lot of execution left to go, but getting those 3.5 items, 4 items coming through. Tian missing the Glacial Prison. It does hit the Enchanted Crystal Arrow on. On is CC'd from hell. He has to go golden. Gideon trying to buy time, but goes down. Another shot will go through, and JackeyLove, as he hits that level 16 mark, 2 kills across the bow.
On's cleanse was 3 or 4 seconds away from coming up. I think IG might just have their base sieged onto here. Yeah, they might just end up losing. They've got Dove in the top side, but he's coming back to base on a recall here. QingTian's going to go and answer that one. I was actually wondering whether they'll go for a Hail Mary and maybe send YSKM up there with Dove to try and end the game, but I feel like it'll be too big of a gamble. It's a 3v5
This is the decisiveness. This is it. Riposte comes through. TES are putting in the work here. They want to finish the game now. Dubs is stacking up though. YSKM finds one. YSKM goes down afterwards though.
There's no way.
The defense. There's no way that TES can continue to push this. And IG, I think they've just done it maybe, but TES want to come back for more. The vultures are circling.
They are refusing to give this potential meal up. Top Esports, they send another ult wide from Tian. And that will just spell the end of the siege, but my goodness me, Top Esports, the blood was in the water. Absolutely it was. Actually Defendo. And they only lose the inhibitor.
And that's that difference, right? I think that's so crucial to kind of point out, and we saw it in game number 1. Their quick turn decisions are so lethal. It's actually incredible.
Yeah, and you can see here, if you take a look at the team fight on the very bottom, On's cleanse is seconds away from coming up. If he has it available, he probably just gets out for free here. I'm not sure if this is just kind of unfortunate on the side of IG. As he dies, it comes up. Or whether or not Top Esports were timing that summoner spell to a T. It's always hard to know sometimes in pro games.
He's got Nature's Grasp. This could be a re-engage from Top Esports. They got to be careful, though. Mark is just down. IG are swinging in like a fell swoop here. They have even up the fight, though, on engage back on. Tian will not hit the engage, though, and IG, they're scaling into infinity, and Dove is putting on his big Flexius costume as Rookie goes down to On, and IG have resurged back into another team fight.
Yes, they have indeed. They refuse to go down here against Top Esports. They're all going to gather up in the mid lane. They don't really have a massive wave to work with, so I think Baron might be the port of call. Tian is on the map, but he's gone back to base. He's on the bottom side of the map, so this will be the Baron picked up for free. Now the next port of call for IG is denying this Hextech soul away from Top Esports, because that will definitely be the kind of buff that could turn the tide of a couple of team fights here. But Top Esports just caught sleeping at the wheel. Get caught out by Dove. They're not able to lock him down very early on, and he just goes forward. Mark is removed immediately from this team fight. And Top Esports are just a little bit too split. You can see Rookie took the Hextech gate. He's too far away. Tian's just gone over the wall. It leaves Mark, JackeyLove, and QingTian exposed to this engage. There is simply nothing that Top Esports can really do. Even though Gideon oversteps and gets bursted down, nothing is stopping these solo laners from rampaging through the entirety of Top Esports.
It's what happens if Dove goes unmarked, right? Or even if YSKM goes unmarked. Now we're getting a fight. You're wooing around this dragon. This is soul for Top Esports.
They can get it. IG really want to deny this one away. So many combat stats.
They're going for the engage already.
They want it.
On, going for it. Oh my god, IG, they're on him. Dove, though, he has been marked. JackeyLove dies, though, and they are trying to take down Dove. They do. That's double. That's TS being wiped off the board, though. They get a couple, but they lose everything. A triple kill for YSKM, and we look like we're going to 3.
Game 3 is on the horizon. This wave in the bottom side should be shoved up here. And the death timers are long enough for this game to end. IG, it looked a little bit dicey in that mid game, but thankfully the level 16 comes in. Fiora hits those iron spikes as well, and the pressure of the solo lane is too much for Top Esports to bear. And even though they had a massive counter blow in the mid game, wasn't quite enough to put the final nail in the coffin, and IG have taken it to 3.
They stand the test of Top Esports in game number 2 after a very tough game number 1. And you love to see that grit from this team that has just showed so much tenacity across this season so far, and it leading to this number 1 record for them. And to have this kind of bounce back in terms of where they kind of readapted draft and found those advantages. YSKM saying it was not the Fiora, it's just how we play around it and executing on that. Really, really big level up from IG.
Huge level up. And again, just the usage there of those solo lanes was so important. Constantly finding flanks in the final couple of fights there was the crucial difference maker in how IG had been approaching the fights throughout majority of that game. Felt like Top Esports did find their stride and their momentum with that team composition after kind of being routed a little bit in the early stages, but it wasn't enough. They couldn't keep the momentum going, and as soon as they lost hold of full control of the game, it felt like it was just on a knife's edge. And whenever it's on a knife's edge, it always feels like IG, no matter the opponent, apparently, will come out ahead.
And I gotta ask though, like again, we were talking about a little bit of disrespect towards QingTian last game, but a little bit of disrespect given over to giving Dove the kassadin. First of all, just letting kassadin through was a big skill check, it felt like, for Top Esports. They were saying we wanted to kind of take this into it. We wanted this draft to play out this way, and it didn't work out. They were on a timer, and they had some good moments even after that timer went off, but it still showed through every time. You leave him unmarked for 1 second, he will be on your backline. YSKM having big influences in the late game, and these solo lanes really popping off for IG.
Yeah, and you know, I just, again, I feel like when you give IG the freedom to play the game, they will make magic happen, right? And
yeah,
at least to me now, I feel like the big question on my mind is, what are Top Esports going to do? I think giving over Dove's kassadin in a, I don't want to see like a free matchup, but again, you know, it's kind of what kassadin is picked to do very commonly is the Sylas. And when you see teams pick up the Sejuani, they go as far as preemptively banning the kassadin because they feel like it's going to be too much to deal with. And in this game, it simply was, right? I think the pick in theory was to try and sort of limit Dove's champion pool. They banned away the Azir, pick up the Sylas, and I believe the Azir was banned. Ryze was also the other option, I guess, but Dove just felt like Kassadin was the next best thing, and simply too much to deal with. Top Esports gonna probably look to readjust in that second phase. I like QingTian's Jayce. I think it's doing a lot of work. I think Tian on the Sejuani missing a couple of moments, but still, I think finding the impact in the mid game that they were looking for. I think you just have to try and shut down IG where it matters on the side lane, and they just didn't have the answers to deal with that.
And especially you see QingTian and Rookie really going blow for blow against YSKM and Dove, but not coming out on top. I think it sets us up for honestly a script written game number 3 here, where we have seen IG kind of fight through some of those moments. And yes, it is Valentine's Day, but there's a lot of love for what's happening on the Rift right now for these two teams. We'll see how TES versus IG plays out, who will get the bill at the end of this dinner date. We'll be right back.